Hey, look up this young fighter called the Monster.
That is a bad dude, you hear me? Say what you want, I know he way over there in Japan or wherever he is, but that is a bad dude.
Inoue looked better than Nakatani last time out. Nakatani really struggled. Inoue would be the favorite anyway. The number 2 pound-for-pound fighter in all the world, the monster, Naoya Inoue, takes on number 6 Junto Nakatani at the Tokyo Dome in Japan. Styles make fights, I get it. But in this case, I guess what I'm reacting to is Inoue is what I consider one of these super fighters.
Inoue, he has that ability of zapping your energy as he's hitting you, whether you're blocking it, catching on your arms, your shoulders, wherever.
I think Inoue's national pride is going to get the best of him, and he's going to go for it.
With only a few days left in the most historic Japanese boxing fight of this era, boxing analysts and fans have dropped their final predictions, picking their champions. Meanwhile, during his latest interview, Junto Nakatani made it clear that he was fully prepared for the biggest fight of his career against Naoya Inoue. When asked about granting Inoue a rematch, Nakatani indicated that the decision would be his to make if he emerged victorious. He showed confidence in his ability to control the outcome, suggesting that a rematch would be on his terms. Nakatani's response reflected a calm but determined mindset heading into the Tokyo Dome showdown.
Of course, if we can knock him out, leaves no doubt. If he knocks him the fuck out, I die next day, it's okay.
How does that make you feel? Just yes, I'm ready. You'll be on the fight. All right, and in the perfect world, do you give him a rematch if and when that happens, or no rematch?
That would be up to Junto. If Junto decides to give him a rematch and he's going to take care of, well, that's, you ask him, don't ask me. But I believe that maybe, yeah, of course, why not? You know, I don't, but that's his decision.
Your decision, what do you think? Yeah, maybe.
Rudy Hernandez, Nakatani's trainer, stated that their goal was to knock Inoue out, leaving no doubt about the outcome. He joked that if Nakatani stopped the champion, he would be extremely happy with the result. Hernandez expressed hope that the fight would be a great contest that Japan could be proud of. He also offered Inoue a rematch, showing confidence that his fighter would come out on top in the first meeting.
I hope that it's such a great fight that Japan can be proud to have had that fight there, and that we'll give him a rematch.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
We'll give him a rematch. So everything we won. That good?
Yeah.
To get the outcome he desires, Nakatani has been putting in relentless work at the gym, hammering the heavy bags and grinding through intense sparring sessions to ensure he is fully prepared for Naoya Inoue on fight night. His training has focused on sharpening his distance control and timing, knowing that keeping the monster at range will be critical. Nakatani has also been working on his footwork and counterpunching, aiming to catch Inoue during his aggressive forward surges. Every session has been designed to build the stamina and power needed to withstand Inoue's pressure and fire back effectively. Similar to his opponent, Inoue has also been working hard during his brutal training camp to maintain his image as this unbeatable fighter who cannot be taken down. Working on his stamina and sheer punching power, during various clips, Inoue was seen going through various forms of training that precisely enhance his abilities to the next level. Moving on to predictions, Timothy Bradley analyzed that Nakatani could upset Inoue if he connected with shots from unexpected angles, something Inoue had struggled with in previous fights. He recalled how Luis Neri had caught Inoue with similar looks, and Nakatani possessed that same kind of firepower. Bradley described Nakatani's approach as pulling back like a bowstring before releasing his strikes, using his lead hand to control space. He also noted that Inoue sometimes stepped improperly when moving forward, leaving himself open to counters.
I was saying that Nakatani was a guy that's gonna beat Inoue, and he has a damn good chance of beating him, man. It's gonna be, he's gonna have to catch Inoue offline. He has that offline shot that Inoue gets hit with quite often. Carnitas was able to hit him with an offline shot. Neri was able to hit him and hurt him with an offline shot, man, and yeah, Nakatani, he has those offline shots, especially with that backhand, and he can walk him into it. Inoue still has a bad habit of crossing his feet. He'll cross that lead foot. That's what happened when he fought against Carnitas. He crossed the front foot first. He stepped with the front foot to close the distance instead of the back foot to go right.
Bradley also observed that Inoue could shift his approach depending on who stood across from him, making it difficult to lock down a predictable game plan. He highlighted that Inoue's punches carried serious force that could drain an opponent's stamina even when blocked. Bradley pointed out that Inoue had faced several left-handers recently, indicating he had been preparing for Nakatani for some time. He concluded that while Nakatani could win with a single clean shot, Inoue had the skills to gradually break him down and finish the job.
But you can never predict. I mean, you can look at Inoue fights, and this guy doesn't fight the same. Like, he's always adjusting his game according to the style that he's facing. He has that ability because he has athleticism, and we all know what comes with athleticism. Yes, some mistakes do come with athleticism. However, he's able to adapt his style and add to it, take away. You can hit with that stuff. That stuff zaps your energy. Zaps your energy. It's like, what is it? Better Biev has that type of ability where he hits you and the punch sinks in so much and it just zaps your energy, man. Anyway, he has that ability of zapping your energy as he's hitting you, whether you're blocking it, catching on your arms, your shoulders, wherever.
Unlike Tim, Bruce Carrington expressed complete confidence that Naoya Inoue would defeat Nakatani, noting that he saw significant holes in Nakatani's defense during his last performance. He argued that Inoue's superior foot speed, explosiveness, and well-rounded skill set made him a much more complete fighter. Carrington warned that Inoue should not fight Nakatani on the outside, as that played into the challenger's strengths. He concluded that he did not see any scenario where Inoue lost the upcoming matchup.
I don't think so. I think that after Nakatani's last fight, I saw like a lot of big holes in his defense. And as long as Inoue doesn't really like fight him on the outside, I think that Nakatani, that's a strong suit. I feel like it'll be an easier fight for Inoue. But Inoue's feet is just too fast. He's very explosive. I think he's quicker than Nakatani as well. Stronger. I think he's just a well-rounded fighter. And I think at this point, I don't see Inoue losing in that fight. So I'm pretty confident that Inoue's gonna, do this fight.
Adding on, Carrington confirmed that Inoue had announced featherweight as his final weight class, which excited him about a potential future showdown. He acknowledged that he would travel overseas to face Inoue if the financial terms made sense, but insisted that he would not simply give up his leverage. He argued that since Inoue was moving up to his division, he should have some say in where the fight took place. He suggested Madison Square Garden as an ideal venue, believing Inoue could build a larger American audience by fighting there.
It is what it is. I'm gonna go overseas and fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say, but to be honest, it has to all make sense. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna always want to give up my leverage, to fight in just his hometown. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I want to be able to, express my leverage as well too, because I have something that he wants. He's coming to my weight class. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't call all the shots up here. You know what I mean? Like, you are who you are. I get it, but I am who I am too, and I'm gonna be, one of the best when it's all said and done. Y'all just don't know yet. I already know I'm the best, so I'm gonna express my leverage for sure. But if it makes sense to fight in Japan, the most sense to fight over fighting out here in the US, for sure I'll fight in Japan. But if not, come to Madison Square Garden, man. Like, that's all it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like he could build an American market out here, you know, be even a bigger, much more of a bigger star.
Expressing his thoughts on this massive event, renowned analyst and former champion Chris Algieri stated how on the last couple of years, the trend in boxing, especially in the Japanese side, has really shifted, and Inoue seems to be a clear example of that, as now fighters tend to be more offensive and look for brutal stoppages. Connecting this with Inoue, Chris stated how with all his achievements so far, Inoue is still looking for the best stoppages against his opponents.
Inoue's actually had a pretty long career. You know, this is in his 4th weight class. He's been undisputed multiple times over the last, I mean, as long as we've been doing this show, Inoue has been a major player. But I remember when I was working with Top Rank and calling a lot of those Japanese shows, and the talent on the undercards were phenomenal. Like, you just saw these guys, and they're all knockout punchers now. They all, like, the culture has changed. Inoue has created a knockout culture of the warrior spirit. Like, 'cause a lot of times they were super technical, very, very tough, but you didn't see a lot of stoppages. Now everybody gets stopped. They're going out there to try and knock everyone out, exactly the way Inoue fights. Inoue fights to knock you out. He doesn't fight to win. He fights to put you away. And that culture has bled out into the rest of them. You know, the boxing scene over there is sick.
Regardless of his praise, Chris believes that this very quality can prove to be Inoue's undoing, as he can be crushed under all the pressure that seems to be mounted on him. On the other hand, Chris believes that though not as experienced as his opponent, Nakatani is a very calm and collected fighter, which can play into his favor on fight night, as at the end of the day, wits have a huge role in deciding who will win.
But again, like you said perfectly, that could play into Nakatani's hands. Nakatani strikes me as almost being more cool and calm and calculated than Inoue. Inoue is fiery in the way that he goes about his business. So very interesting dichotomy of these two. You know, the matchup is juicy. This is a good fight. And there's a lot of ways it can go, but I think Inoue's national pride is going to get the best of him, and he's going to go for it.
So that could be the end of him.
Because
we've talked about this numerous times.
It could be a brilliant way to win.
Sharing his prediction for this upcoming Japanese battle, Bam Rodriguez emphasized the fact that for Nakatani, it will be extremely hard to take down an absolute unit like Inoue, especially considering the fact that Inoue has way more experience in these high-stakes battles, and that he has become used to this weight class, which can be a little intimidating for Nakatani at this point in his career.
I think Inoue wins the fight, just because he has more experience. He's been in the weight division longer than Nakatani has, so I do favor Inoue, but Nakatani, he does have a chance as well, just because he has that kind of one-punch power.
Talking about his own matchup, Bam acknowledged that the Inoue-Nakatani matchup was drawn closer and believed a fight with the winner was on the horizon. He stated that as long as both he and Inoue kept winning, their showdown would eventually happen, possibly by late this year or early next year. Rodriguez made it clear that he had no issue traveling to Japan to make the fight happen, as he loved spending time there.
Have you had those discussions?
No, not with Eddie. No, I mean, not with no one really, but in the back of my mind, I know that fight is gonna happen down the line. I feel like it's closer than ever now. As long as I keep winning, he keeps winning, then I feel like it's gonna happen.
I don't think, maybe you'll correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you'd have any problem going to Japan, because you love Japan from what I know of you. Does that make it easier to make this fight happen because you're open to going to Japan to make it happen and he doesn't have to come to the US?
I mean, I feel like it would be a whole lot easier to make that fight happen, just because I love going to Japan and spending time there, so I have no problem going over there to fight.
Expressing his take on this call-out from Bam, Inoue recently emphasized how though his fight with Nakatani will be his final one at this weight class, he is still open for other major fights in the upcoming days, especially against US or other international fighters, which would allow him to reach a much bigger audience. During a Q&A session with DAZN Boxing, Inoue stated, "Yes, I would love to fight Jesse Rodriguez." He further added, "Would I beat him? Yes."
Mike Coppinger viewed the matchup as closer than expected, calling it a close fight in favor of Naoya Inoue. Coppinger emphasized that Inoue is already a future Hall of Famer, deserving full respect heading into the bout.
I'm with Malik Max. I think this is much closer to a 55-45 fight, maybe in favor of Inoue. And look, Inoue is he's a future Hall of Famer, first ballot. He's an all-time great, so he deserves that respect.
However, Max Kellerman called Naoya Inoue a super fighter for his elite speed, reflexes, explosive power, and rare twist twitchiness that separates him from other fighters. He rated Junto Nakatani as excellent, but not on the same level, and favored Inoue for his clear edge in athleticism and reaction speed.
And I understand styles make fights. I get it. But in this case, I guess what I'm reacting to is Inoue is what I consider one of these super fighters. His speed, his reflexes, his power. Mike, what's the word I always like to use? The
Twitchies?
Twitchies are different, right? They're elite. And Junto is like as good as it gets for a normally excellent fighter.
Malik Scott didn't view Junto Nakatani as a real underdog. Scott acknowledged the odds, but believed the skill level told a different story. He noted that while Naoya Inoue looked sharper in his last fight, Nakatani had faced tougher opposition and handled it well. In the end, Malik Scott leaned toward Nakatani, saying a win wouldn't be an upset given his technique, discipline, and work rate.
What I'm really not big on is I just don't see Junto as that big of an underdog. Numbers wise, he may be, but skill wise. And you said something else that went to my mind, that both of their last times out, Inoue looked more impressive. But if we're talking about who fought the better opposition, I would say Nakatani fought the tougher guy. Inoue, he fought, I believe it was Picasso. That fight was a good fight, and Picasso did good things, but I thought Nakatani did very good in that way. And I also think, like, I just won't be surprised. And as you all know, I already have. I'm going with Junto as the favorite in this, as far as my personal. So it won't be a big upset to me. I can't see someone with his type of technically sound game, with his system, with his work rate. I just don't see guys like that ever as an underdog in any type of fight they're in.
Meanwhile, Teddy Atlas noted that Nakatani could be the fighter to shake up the division. Atlas backed Naoya Inoue, but made it clear he isn't dismissing the threat. He warned that the matchup shouldn't be taken lightly or rushed. Teddy described Nakatani as a serious risk, skilled and sharp enough to turn everything upside down if the timing was right.
If anyone could upset the apple cart, I think it would be Nakatani. I don't think Inoue and his people should. I'm not saying they shouldn't fight him at the right time, but that's the kind of fight you don't jump, because that could upset the apple cart. He's that good. I'm not saying he beats Inoue. I ain't going against Inoue, but I'm saying that that's a big risk.
Teddy Atlas praised Nakatani, a rangy fighter who can control distance and dictate pace from the outside. Atlas explained that he should force opponents to take risks just to close the gap, then punish them with sharp counters. He noted that Junto would use timing and spacing to stay in control and would be difficult to pressure in a potential matchup.
Nakatani is a guy who makes really most of his living on the outside, bud, where he controls range, he makes you take chances, he counters real, he's a good puncher, he's technically solid, he makes you take chances, he counters you, he doesn't let you get close. You know, he makes you go through a bad neighborhood and then he mugs you. That's what Nakatani does. That's when he's at his best.
So, in the end, what are your thoughts on all the points raised by various analysts regarding this matchup? Do you agree that Inoue's power punches and his sheer instinct to knock down his opponents might be his undoing? Or do you believe that Nakatani's lack of experience and skills will result in his loss to his greatest rival? One side believes that the Japanese monster will dominate everyone using his extraordinary energy, while the other side leans on the fact that Nakatani's composure will aid him in deflecting any attack thrown his way. Make sure to tell us about your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting boxing news.